Well, that's something that I coined because that's me. That's who I am. If you want to know me, you will learn who I am through my work. And I just feel like we all have a destiny and a mission on this planet to fulfill. And I found that mission, and I feel like my mission was to create, and in that creating, to inspire people, to uplift people, to help people, to heal people, and just basically, you know, it's basically me sharing myself to the world. Um, all of my heart and my soul goes into my work, and I just truly feel like that's my purpose on life. My purpose in life is to create. And this is something that I know I'm going to do until the day that I die because this is who I am. If there was a point where I decided to separate my creativity from my life, I feel like there would be no Lorenzo. So that aspect of me, quote unquote, is myself. That creativity, that live to create, is who Lorenzo P is, and that's where that whole live to create came from. It's the fact of knowing my purpose and fulfilling it, and that's my purpose. I live to create. That's pretty much it, guys. I feel like I'm at my best as an artist when I'm feeling inspired because inspiration, I feel like inspiration will take you a long way. I have a saying, a grain of inspiration is enough fuel to travel the universe. And I truly feel that way because I create my best work when I'm inspired. And not only that, I feel motivated to do the work when I'm inspired. So not only am I motivated, the passion is there, the inspiration is there, and it just goes together so well. It meshes so well, and it just helps the work to manifest that much easier and that much faster. When I'm pressured, when I'm stressed, when I'm down, when I'm dealing with issues, it's that much difficult to create under those circumstances opposed to me being happy or me feeling good about myself or whatever the case may be. But I want to say at the source of all that is inspiration. That's what helps me to just go all out and help me to center myself and create at a rate that's just it amazes me at times. I'm not even going to lie. I'm never impressed by my own work, but there are times where it's like, wow, I did that, and that comes from all of those things being in alignment, and me seeing the physicality of what I created, and it blows me away. It's just like, wow, I can't believe I created that. But inspiration is at the source of all that. So yeah, I'll leave it there, guys. It's the inspiration, whether if it's a positive inspiration or a negative one. Inspiration comes in all forms, and I have created in those dark elements. It was much harder, but I still did it. I'll tell you something interesting. I showed a friend my work, and he showed one of his friends, and his friend said, "I don't like his work. His work is too dark." And I'll go back and I review my work, and I'm looking. I'm like, "Yeah, that's dark. That's dark. That's dark." And I'm just reviewing. It really made me reflect on what I was creating. And I'm looking at my work, and I said to myself, this is a representation of me. This is what I was going through. I was going through a dark time in my life. Now that I'm in a much better space in life, my work is much different. I'm creating at different levels, at different spaces. My work is much more brighter. It's much more lit. It's much more vibrant. It's much more colorful. That's because that is a direct reflection of what I'm feeling inside. Emotions tell a lot in your work, and particularly in mine. And I just feel like it's like I said, getting back to what I said, It's much harder to do, but it is manageable. And I feel like some artists do create really good work at a dark place of their time. That's just not a place that I particularly like to create from, because I don't feel the drive is there, or the impulse to create. I rather deal with those emotions in other forms and then go back to what I was creating. But there, like I said, there were times where I have created in dark spaces, like when my uncle passed away. That was a devastating blow. He was like literally one of my biggest fans, and when I lost him, I feel like I lost a part of myself, and it was really hard to create during that time. But guess what? I pushed through it, and I made some incredible things, and I owe a lot of it to him. We made a song called Road Again, and I said to my partner, I said to him, my uncle would have loved this song, and he said to me, this song wouldn't have been what it was if your uncle was here. So there you go right there. And this is one of the songs that I am deeply, deeply, deeply in love with. Like once again, I said to you guys that I'm not often impressed by my own work. That's just me. That's what I do. Just like someone who goes to work every day. You know, if they do a good job or not, you know, the job is done. And that's how it is for me when I create. As long as the job gets done, I'm good. I'm happy. And like I said, I'm not too impressed with myself, but that song right there, I feel like that was like, wow, that's it. And that was fueled from what I was dealing with. I was depressed, I was sad, I was heartbroken. I was just in a dark space, and that song, Road Again, it spoke those emotions. It articulated that in the song. I have to be quite honest. It's not a difficult question, but to be very direct and blatant about it, I'm inspired by everything. There's not one particular source where it say, yeah, that's all my inspiration right there. Inspiration comes in all forms, and I feel like, you know, I remember one day, I'll tell you this story. I remember one day I was at my job. I work overnight. I work as a concierge. I'll tell you guys, I work as a concierge. I work overnight, and I stood outside my building one day and I prayed. I closed my eyes and I prayed. And literally right after I prayed, I opened up my eyes and I saw a bird. I don't know what kind of bird it was. It was a dark bird, and I just saw it soaring across the sky. I didn't even see it flap its wings. It was just literally soaring just like this. And I'm just looking at it in complete awe. At what I was seeing, and that inspired me. I don't know what it was about that inspired me, but I got inspiration out of that. And you know, another thing is I want to share. I'm inspired by the underdog. I'm inspired by the person who decides and commit. You know, we come from a place where there's very little inspiration because we're surrounded by so much negativity, and there are people who rise above that, and those are the people who I am inspired by. The person who says, I'm not going to become a product of my environment or a product of my circumstances. I'm going to choose to rise above that. Those are the people who I connect with the most. Those are the people who I am inspired by, because it takes a person that really wants to grow and to evolve, to say, I don't want this for my life. I don't want to be this person. I don't want to be a follower. I want to be a leader, and I'm going to do whatever it is to make this happen. Those are the people who inspire me the most, you know? I firmly believe that it does. Creativity is something that exists outside of our being. It is something that shares the same space. This is just my personal perspective. Creativity is something that shares the same space as love, as passion, as inspiration, God, because It is something that we cannot see. It is not something physical, yet we feel its presence. It's all around us. It's all around us at any given time. At any given time, we can tap into it and we can tap out of it. And I feel like creativity comes. Sometimes it comes when you want it to come. Sometimes it doesn't. You know, you could try to force it, but if it's not there, it's not there. And I just feel like creativity is something that, you know, it comes from the universe. It comes from God. And what happens is, I feel like God, he gives you that wave of creativity for a moment. You only have it for that one moment to use it for something greater than yourself. And you take it, you use it for whatever purpose it is you want to use it in, and you give it back. You give it back to a source. So creativity is, it's the circle of life, because it comes, it goes, it comes back, and it goes, it comes and goes, and it's a cycle. Creativity is a cycle that exists outside of who we are as human beings. It's a spirit, it's a soul, it's a purpose, it's a life. Creativity is life, and it gives life, just like God, just like love, just like inspiration. And that's what creativity, and that's what it is to me. It's life. It's life in its own form. It's something that exists outside of us, and that's what it is.